Well, hello there, friends. It's Julie, and excuse the mess today. I am actually in the middle of getting a bunch of these Daphne's Diary journals that we made together a little bit ago, or kind of did, if my memory card was working right. And I've been going to give them as gifts because I'm going home to Minnesota. I live in Montana, but all my family's in Minnesota. And bring a few gifts, and not everybody, because not all of them are journalers or appreciate it, so give them to someone who does. So anyways, this is what we're going to do is do a flip through of a journal that I've made out of Victoria magazines, and most of these are the older ones, and these are the ones that I had when I was younger. And I chose to do a tab binding with lace, and this is my first try with tab binding, and I wouldn't recommend doing it this way for your first time. First of all, the magazine covers are glossy and they're very slippery. And then lace takes forever to dry because you have to make sure there's all these little holes that the glue seeps through. So I would not recommend this as a first try. Also, with the glossy paper, it didn't quite, it's not easy to get it tight because it kept slipping. So a reason why I decided to do a tab binding is because there were so many beautiful pages that I wanted to keep as a centerfold or centerpiece, and I'll show you them as we go. I also created some cover pockets, and then I just took, like I did before with Daphne's Diary journals, I just took a regular page and then an alternate page. So I did fill this up with some ephemera. And this is for one of my friends, a college roommate. And when we were in college, we were into this Victorian stuff. We were Cottagecore before Cottagecore was a thing. And our room was very much like this. And everybody would say, "Oh, your house is going to be so beautiful when you get older, or when you have a house." And nope, it doesn't look like this. I married somebody who's not into it. But you see how glossy these pages are. And so there are still also places for that. And I also included some envelopes in each signature. And then there's also some Daphne's Diary, because it kind of goes along with that prettiness. Daphne's Diary is a little bit more bright, and these older Victorian magazines, they had this look to them that the new ones do not. And I'm also going to say, excuse my fingernails. I have autoimmune issues, and the more I have them, the more my nails get weird, and I'm sorry that you have to see them, but this is kind of the reality for many people. So, I mean, to see them for just a little bit, to know that this is what some people deal with their whole life, or for their life. And I am going to put polish back on them, but I just needed to give them a little breathing room while, oh, I missed a pocket. So I gotta fill that up. So let me just grab a few things. I don't want to put, that's not right. No. Maybe that's kind of Victorian. So these are some ATC cards. Cozy Cocoon. Can't wait to begin. Oh, I could fit one of these cards in as a journal card. It's not exactly a Valentine, though. I didn't really want to make it a seasonal one. Here's some unfinished ATCs I did. This, maybe coffee break. I don't know if she drinks coffee. It usually comes down to going back to the first choice. So I think that's what's going to happen here. The first one I thought I should put in. Otherwise I already gave her a paper weaving one. So let's just put this one in. This is an ATC. So then I did this, some of these lace pockets, and I really meant to make it so the pocket had the glue on this side, but of course I didn't. And oh well, it's just like a little side pocket with a little picture of a young woman in there. Here again, another beautiful centerpiece, centerfold. Alternate with different papers. Yeah, here's another, this is an ATC I made. It's out of paper weaving. If you don't know what artist trading cards are, they are basically pieces of art on there's a certain size, And yet the only rule for ATCs is they have to be that size. So I know a lot of junk journalers sometimes have issue with that because we're used to just making things any way we want. And I saw somebody say they made giant ATC cards. And I'm like, nope, those aren't real ATC cards. Anyways, so I included a lot of old ephemera in here because I know she would love it. And I have lots of it. And this is, I don't know, I think I'm going to put something different in this pocket because once again, this is sticking to it. This is a laminated thing somebody gave me. I'll put one of these Burlington Northern punch cards in here if it fits, because on the back you can still journal. There we go. So each signature had a little different theme to it. I don't know if you can notice now. The Isle of Sark, and then I had part of the article in here. And then there's this. Okay, so this, I did a belly band, and then I didn't quite cut the lace right, so all I did was add a little trim on the top and bottom, so you can't tell. And then since it's so slippery, it's hard to put anything in there. The ribbon is slippery, the paper is slippery, so I just put a note card in there that could hook on there and not slip out. I had, where did I get this? At a garage sale. There was a whole bunch of these little cutouts and such. Oh, this was holding my place. Okay, so I have this spot here where this is an envelope where this is the sticky stuff. So what do you do to, I mean, if this gets damp, it's going to stick. So I have to figure out something to do that. What do you do with that? Maybe you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cover this with lace. Okay, I'm going to put this guy back there. He was holding my place. So I'm going to come back and put lace on here. And all different kinds of laces. And here's a little, she is a pastor, so I did include some religious items. Here I just put a little piece of paper from the Sticky Club when I was in that. I really enjoy this journal. There are a couple flaws, of course. Look at that. Oh, isn't that beautiful? The new magazines don't have that same feel to it. There was just something dreamy and lovely and almost a fantasy world. And the new ones just don't have that. Whoever was the photographer back then, you know, he was genius. And I also was thinking about decorating these envelopes. But, you know, I only have so much time before I have to leave because I'm going to a funeral and I have to fly out. I have one tomorrow to pack and then that's it. So yeah, there's some things I could do more of. There's a picture, but there's only so much that I'm going to do. Now here's another spot that could use something. Oh well, she obviously knows it's a pocket, and she has something in here too, so there's some things she can fill up, of course, and she can always take these out and put her own in. Sometimes it just, like I said before, just have to be done is better than perfect. This is from My Porch Prints. I have purchased a few printables from her, and they are handy. But I am going away from printables and such somewhat, and just using what I have. Okay, and then I put one of these cards in there. You can journal on the back. You can journal on the envelope. So I liked the challenge of working with what I have right now. Could change when the change is what I have. So here I just did a little lace flip, and then there's a postcard in the back. So the issue that I have with this is because look at the gap here in the joins here. So I didn't have it very tight, and there are multiple signatures. So then it's very floppy. And that also could be a good thing too, because as you add things in there, if she adds stuff in there, then there's room for it to puff up. I mean, if it sits like this, it looks different. But if it's just sitting, it's like that. So it slopes down, which you can have room for stuff. So that is the Victoria magazine one I had. Oh, and the cover here I made, this is a Victoria magazine image, and then I had these these note cards that I got from Barnes & Noble, I had a gift card, and I glue. And I just did some fussy cut on some of them, put them in there. This isn't from a, and then I think this is a Tim Holtz. I wanted to try Tim Holtz because everybody talks about him all the time. I think they're wonderful, but I don't see them as something that it's going to be my go-to thing, because like I said, I have tons of ephemera on hand. I mean, here I've got a box of photos downstairs that is labeled estate sale photos from like 2 years ago. So I've got tons of photos I could use too. Anyways, that's the joy of being an ephemera person, a reseller, buying in bulk. That's what I do, and then I have some leftover stuff to play with. So, okay, so hope you enjoyed this flip through. Let me know what you think. If this binding would have been good. I believe it will keep up because I used Fabri-Tac on it, and I can't even move this. So, and this is a stronger lace. It's not like the sheer stuff. It's more like a cotton, thicker one. So I that's why I chose this one to do it. I did try to do fabric strips, and it just didn't have the right look to it. It just looked very dull, and yeah, I didn't like the fabric. So, but this worked a lot better for me. Well, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next page. Goodbye.